All right, some people avoid this, but it's very important. Let's talk about managing your finances. The final part of this module is to manage your finances. If you don't know how to manage them, then I recommend that you hire or outsource this to someone else. But as a business owner in charge of your team, you need to know what your finances are to evaluate your business growth. The strategy is to minimize expenses by maximizing profits through sales and marketing. To do this, you need someone to monitor your company's cash flow. Unnecessary expenses are identified from the task list we created at the beginning of this module. When you eliminate those unnecessary tasks, you cut down your expenses. Upon receiving revenue, pay your staff first and yourself last. This is to take care of the engine of your business, the staff, and keep it running. It will definitely be a huge payoff in the long run, trust me. Then pay for what's necessary to keep operations running, like office, rent, utility bills, internet, necessary equipment, etc. With the balance as net profit, allocate 10% to the growth and development of the team. This covers costs you'll need when sending qualified team members to seminars, workshops, investing in books and training videos. Do this strategically with a specific outcome in mind. Don't spend willy-nilly. Allocate another 5% to spend on R&R. The team simply can't be running 24/7, especially when it comes to creative work. The mind needs to rest and unwind, and funds are needed to accomplish that. There are business owners and team leaders who don't allocate any playtime for the team to recharge, and that always results in burnout and boredom. Without naming names, I can tell you that there are Fortune 500 companies that deal with internet commerce, and go ahead and Google the names of the top companies in the industry. You'll see examples of this. But when fund allocation is done in percentage versus value, the team is empowered, feels the sense of ownership for their work, and can contribute more actively in the company. All that needs to be done now is to increase productivity and marketing of the company. More revenue equals more profit. More profit equals more funds for learning, profit sharing, and R&R. When your business growth expands, hire a sales and marketing team to bring in sales for the company. Do high tickets to attract more profitable business projects instead of small projects with less profit. An example of a high ticket would be a 3 to 4 day coaching program to help your clients expand their businesses using your sales and marketing knowledge. Allocate 10% of your net profit into researching new business opportunities in the market, studying about the future market trend, and expanding your current business. And allocate another 20% into building a new company using the same kind of strategies and tactics. Doing this will potentially double, triple, or even quadruple your income. I know it sounds incredible, but it's true. In summary, these tactics have worked for me and have allowed me to build a 7-figure business. These tactics and moves are from my experience. Your goal is to replicate this success by copying and pasting it into your business. You don't have to think. Again, don't reinvent the wheel. Just copy my business. The quickest way to achieve success is to model off of someone who's already there. On improving leadership, let's talk about learning and development. The second key point is to learn and develop. If the team is not learning and growing, then really they're dying. Therefore, your team needs to constantly sharpen their saw. There are always businesses out there who work harder, smarter, and quicker than your team. It's just a reality. And if there's no growth in learning or developing current talents, that is, surely one day your competitors will close the gap and surpass you. This also means death to your business. If you're not learning, you're dying. Stay ahead of your competitors by structuring learning and development activities for your team. The reason is these activities help them to be very efficient and effective in problem solving, time management, and prioritization. There are lots of activities that you can do for your team to help their growth. The first is apprenticeship. This means sending your team over to other organizations to learn from them. This can be a very useful and effective way to eventually develop a new skill. Second is career counseling. This is where your team members discuss with their supervisor a career plan and develop that career plan to identify areas for improvement or advancement and how those areas can be addressed and also when. Coaching includes working one-on-one with the learner to conduct a needs assessment, set major goals to accomplish, develop an action plan, and support the learner to accomplish that plan. The team member drives these activities, and the coach provides continuing feedback and support. Continuing professional development is very beneficial so that your team stays up to date in the views and practices necessary to lead and manage in today's organizations. There are an increasing number of universities, colleges, and training centers associating continuing education credits or continuing education units with their courses and workshops. So why not leverage those? Sometimes your team doesn't have the proper technique to learn and retain new things. Organizations and other environments are changing rapidly. Therefore, it's extremely important to continually be aware of those changes and to be reflecting on them and learning from them as well. Basically, with continuous learning, you help your team to learn and how to learn. Courses and seminars are great platforms for the learning and development of new knowledge or skills on your team. Courses with hands-on experience are even better since it'll help your team apply what they have just learned, making the lessons even more effective. Another great way to encourage self-learning for your team is to provide them with opportunities to give presentations. For example, have a 15-minute presentation on a topic that adds value to your team and specifically what you're working on. Let's say there are 7 people on your team. That would be a total of 105 minutes of presentation every time you do this meeting. And if you do it every month, then annually, it would add up to 84 topics and 21 hours of learning. Getting the right team. In the previous chapters, we've discussed about hiring a team to better handle the tasks that are needed to ensure your business thrives. The right team delivers the best results and will ensure the continuity of your business. But first, what is an ideal team size for your business? It's recommended to start with around 5 to 7 people. A small initial team size is very important so that you can maintain team dynamics at the highest level. Dynamics require a solid context. So unless a solid context is set at the beginning, a team that is too small will only operate on orders and become very transactional and operational. You need to be there physically most of the time to manage such a team, and opinions that matter really won't be voiced by your small team. You don't want that to happen because you want your team to speak their thoughts, debate, and challenge you in healthy ways. It's only through that process that you'll be able to spot and cover gaps in the business and ultimately do better. A yes person who says yes to everything, well, that kind of person is definitely a no-no on a team that's going to grow. Keep a healthy balance between operational staff, creative staff, and managers or supervisors in the team you hire. A good setup would be 2 managers or supervisors to every 3 staff. This is to keep the system running smoothly and maintain an optimal standards level. And again, keep in mind that you need to minimize the backseat roles in your business. So your staffers, they're not passive, but they're not managers either. Be clear on who you want and what positions you want to fill. You may do this from the list of tasks that you did earlier on. This will allow you more free time to start thinking on a higher level and work on your business, not in it. So do you want to hire a full-time staff, or do you want to only pick up contractual staff that only serve for certain projects? The answer really depends on you, whether you want a full-time or contractual staff. Each has its own strengths and weaknesses, of course. A full-time staff has the highest chance of developing company loyalty and a sense of ownership to both their roles and the business, and the result is a committed workforce. But a part-time or contractual team can be an excellent staffing option too for small or young businesses due to the potential for flexibility and the relatively low cost. Such workers necessarily work fewer hours, and so they'll cost less in wages. You could even outsource certain rudimentary tasks to keep costs low. In terms of hiring, it's recommended to go with long-term contracts. You may also want to consider having a profit-sharing scheme where the team can leverage off the business's success. This promotes empowerment, very strong staff loyalty, and lower staff turnover. This means less training time while saving you more time during the period of hiring and interviewing.